practice takes effort, constant effort, and much more effort often at the beginning than later on as new habits have been formed. In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, this is known as Lojong, or training the mind. And the teachings on mind training have a meditative component, and then they have their all-day component. And those are intricately interwoven. And so the kind of meditation that one would be doing for Lojong wouldn't necessarily look just the way that I described. So I was describing a preliminary and what can eventually be the main practice of shamatha. But Lojong starts with the cultivation of the four immeasurables, what are known as the four immeasurable qualities of the heart. And this is immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable empathetic joy, and immeasurable impartiality. Now, of course, I could talk for hours just on those four. But to say this much, and many people have become familiar with these techniques because they've even been secularized within the last few decades in mindfulness-based practices. Cultivating loving kindness and compassion in particular have already become quite popular in that way. But within a Buddhist context, cultivating loving kindness so that it is not attachment. It's not just about recognizing the people we love and cultivating more love for them. That's great if we can. But to develop a loving kindness that is free of attachment already means meditating on an impartiality, and this is the way the four are interconnected, an impartiality that equalizes how we relate to those who've hurt us and those who've helped us. And of course, it takes a lot of reflection in the full scope of a Buddhist worldview to look at how Buddhism means that we have had relationships with every other sentient being, not just every human being, but every sentient being, to such an extent that everyone has been our mother in the past.
In some lifetime or other.
Through countless past lifetimes.
Right.
Every being has been our mother. And so for many Westerners, it's difficult to get to this. It's difficult to get to this as a realization because it's not a worldview that even those who have accepted a Buddhist worldview can fully relate to in the way that someone born in the Tibetan Buddhist culture, Bhutanese, Nepalese, Indian culture, of course they've been thinking that way since they learned how to talk, that maybe before they learned how to talk, they have memories from past lives. No, but not to belabor that. The point being there are many ways to get to an impartial loving kindness, which doesn't mean an indifferent loving kindness or just kind of flattened out loving kindness. A loving kindness that can raise to the nth degree to see through to the depths of what a sentient being is. And so in a Christian
to love others, to love your neighbor as yourself.
As yourself.
Yeah.
And even more so, to love one's neighbor as a creation of divine love. So that one is seeing past the surface appearances. And that is really the only authentic way to get past the things that people have done, whether to us or to others, that are negative, that are harmful, that are despicable. And not in a Pollyanna kind of way, say, oh, I'm overlooking everything and I'm non-judgmental. No, of course, in Buddhist ethics and Christian ethics, there's no room for throwing ethics to the winds. On the contrary, it's holding people accountable in all the ways we need to hold them accountable because a lot of emotion comes up, because we have seen through to the depths of what that being could be.